does not have strong democratic credentials to write home about. And I believe largely they cannot give what they don't have. If you look at the character of the ruling party and how they've run government, I wouldn't score them as a democratic or a group of Democrats. I wouldn't do that. But given that they operate under the structure known as the Constitution, they seem to be like a popular party holding primaries, but their character in government is largely one thing. They have violated all principles of governance, up to the extent that they are the only government in the world that I know of that conducts abductions of their citizens. So really, that is not a democratic plus. Yes, the NRM is the party in power. Citizens have been missing thanks to security agencies, which they had. So they are responsible for abductions of Ugandans.
I don't know what
and other than terrorist groups. No, I'm looking at the character of the ruling party. Other than terrorist groups, I don't know any government that abducts its citizens except NRM. So having said that, if you look at the
government yakumanya edikwata by citizens nka NRM.
The president wrote 3 letters in 2 days. It's like he was not sleeping. And for me, I'm looking at a scared chairman of a party who is scared for 2 reasons. One,
we're seeing a scared chairman of a party.
The bungled primaries will produce many independents within the party. And many independents, because the legitimate winners were rigged out, they will most likely defeat the fraudulent flag bearers in the elections. So that's one reason why the president is panicking. The second reason, if you have...
Is he panicking or is he just...
2 letters in 3 letters in 2 days.
Maybe as a leader of a party.
I'm coming why I call it panic. I will justify my comment. So the second reason why I think he is in panic is because if you have multiple members contesting for a seat, they will divide their support and create a gap for opposition to defeat them.
Automatically, if you have 2 strong NRM candidates, one comes on independent, then automatically the opposition candidate will be stronger because those 2 will just divide they will divide the votes.
So for me, that's the reason why the president seems to be bothered. But otherwise, in his usual form as a Sevarani, he wouldn't be bothered about malpractices in elections because that's how he survives. And I want to compare with the Kawempe by-election. Kawempe by-election was really a big fraud by security agencies, JAT, UPDF, police, whatever it is. And I blame all that on the party in power. They are in charge of government organs. And if they've lost control of these organs, they better tell citizens that as a party in power, they've lost control of state institutions. Unless they come to that, admission, we shall always blame them for the conduct of state institutions under their regime. The army rained terror on citizens, on journalists, on observers in Kawempe. Why didn't the president order arrest of the people who drove members to Kawempe, of the people who commanded members to go to Kawempe? For the first time, Ugandans saw a member with more than 100 guns driving through a polling station. Why weren't those soldiers arrested? And why is he more active in NRM primaries and not considering the national elections? A president of a country is not just a party chief or a village chief. He's a president of everybody. So this hypocrite concern of malpractices in party elections, while bungling the national elections for citizens, while bungling the sovereign rights of Ugandans, it is not a democratic concern. It's a hypocritical concern.
So you still insist that whatever happened in the NRM was meant to happen? Is that what you're trying to say?
They are not democratic. I've said why I don't consider them as a group of Democrats. I have justified that. They have bungled the rule of law in the country. They have weakened all institutions
Bungled the rule of law.
of governance, including parliament, which they recently bribed with 100 million to pass UPDF Act. All those are not democratic credentials. And that's what NRM demonstrates in their leadership.
How about the fact that
They are not democratic credentials.
like Major here stated, that they have internal mechanisms to actually address some of these issues?
I have said that structure on paper, they have systems to exist under multi-party dispensation. But their character at the national level does not demonstrate any democratic credentials. You send the army to raid parliament. You send the army to beat up MPs in chambers. Are you a democratic leader? A democratic leader cannot do that.
Right, Spectrum X1 Radio 1 FM 90, we're doing.
Drag the IGP to court.
Drag the IGP to court.
Explain under what circumstances does he invite the army to torture Ugandans in the day-to-day policing that is his duties in the Constitution? Under what circumstances does he hand over his work to the army? And who is accountable for the violations of the army against Ugandans pretending to be doing law and order work that belongs to the police? I thank you very much. I've seen dictators being defeated by people. Even before we go into elections, the 50-year dictator in Syria went running when the people decided so, after 50 years.
But is it an election that wasn't?
No, I'm giving an example that people's determination can end dictatorship.
People's determination can end dictatorship. That is from Dr. Sarah Bireete. People's determination can end dictatorship.
50-year rule in Botswana was defeated on the ballot. True or false?
And Botswana is a unique country.
Peacefully. No, there is nothing unique about an election. Let me tell you, there is no dictator. If a paper cannot take him out to let him stay in his bed, everybody knows him, everybody knows what he's capable of. One, if he's popular, or if a paper cannot take him out, why is he engaged in other campaigns? He spent a whole year before Christmas running all over the country under the guise of supervising PDM. You think he was supervising 100 million PDM? He's in other campaigns. If a paper cannot take him out of power, let him stay in his bed sleeping and we see.
So you encourage Ugandans to galvanize.
Participate. It is an opportunity to change power. Participate at every level. Make sure you are a voter. Vote and protect your vote.
Okay. Doctor, let's come to you as an organization, the Center for Constitutional Governance. As we prepare for the elections, I've told you already that human rights abuses are always also on the rampant. As the Center for Constitutional Governance, how ready are you for this particular year and generally those cases, if they are to come up?
Well, we usually engage in work on elections as the legal hub for election observers, but also civic education or voter education, encouraging young people to turn up to vote. A call that I've done, you cannot turn up unless you're registered. So let's use this window to register, verify our details, make sure we are eligible to vote. But also show up and vote. And then protect.
This is Dr. Sarah Bireete, the Executive Director. Center for Constitutional governance.
Vote. So citizens have 3 duties in election, and we shall be engaged in encouraging people to play their role. We also encourage young people to vie for office. If you look at the recent results released by UBOS on the census, 50% of our population are children.
Yes.
The biggest group after that is the youth, 10 million. 0.8 youth, almost 11 million. There is no single candidate who can get 11 million votes. So the youth are going to determine the person that will remain in power beyond 2026. Can they take opportunity of this window and create a government of their choice through the ballot? There is no dictator, by the way, who can be overwhelmingly defeated and manage to win, to rig the vote. There is no one. If you want change, overwhelmingly turn up and defeat NRM. Then nobody can rig an election where they have been overwhelmingly defeated.
It's too good to be true, really.
Can we exercise it? But I am telling you that I've seen dictators being defeated by people. Even...
Wow.
Tukutte omukyala Sarah Bireete ng'ono ye director for Center for Constitutional Governance ng'ono wetwogerera akuumibwa ku poliisi yaffe nga naye akaseera konna konna ajja kuba alabikirako mu kkooti nga okunoonyereza kukyagenda maaso nga bwe tunaaba tumaliriza okunoonyereza fayiro tugenda giweereza ewoomuwaabi wa gavumenti ku misango ki gye tusobola okumuggulako nga tujja kuba tubategeeza wanaabeerawo. Tukutte omukyala Sarah Bireete.
So
Sarah Bireete.
That is our Sarah Bireete. Bisodo correction. Justice for Sarah Bireete. Mugerwa David Nsumba. DPC. So mumukutte temunategeera misango. Mumukwasireko nga tumukamanyire emisango ye. Emisango ki gye mutasobola kutugambako okumugulako awo wenkomye okutegeera. Emisango gye tusobola okumugulako. So they first arrest, then they start getting the emisango. Mukute wachi kumanyi. Free innocent Ugandans. Uganda police, you work for the citizens, or you work for the citizens, or NRM. That read always speaks facts only. Free Sarah Bireete. Ngwayogera mazima gokka. But don't we have serious witch doctors in Uganda? But don't we have serious witch doctors in Uganda? So you want us to resort to witchcraft? Do you know Chinchitire Ngware, who used witchcraft tactics? Do you know what happened? Imagine they first arrest, then they look for the crime. That is not okay. You can't arrest me, then after you say now we are looking for the crime. I'm not going to read that. So mwamukutenga temuina musango. Ugandan police already temunafuna misango free Sarah Bireete. So meaning mukutenga temuna mtegeera. Nga temunategeera musango gwe yakoze. Naye mmwe nze kigenda mu maaso mu ggwanga sikitegeera. Waliwo eyalemedde mu kkubo abantu ne basula mu jaamu. Kati wulira poliisi emala kukwata n'eryoka okunoonyereza emisango. Imagine arresting someone with no case and after you look for a case to accuse on. Now Uganda police, how can you rudely arrest someone with no reason? Mbutunonye misango jetu mugurako. Ntunda. Jovia. He's exposing the rotten government, M7 government. She's exposing. Free our human rights fighter, Sarah Bireete. Hey, free our human rights fighter, Sarah Bireete. Mukuta kozechi. Few days. Mutuvire. Nawe bajja kukwata yogera byonna byoyogera ensi ekulaba. That is Joseph Shoe Center. Annual decay. So you arrest without any reason and you start looking for a reason of arrest. Musoka kwata then namunoonye ensonga lwaki mukutte. Why do arrest before investigating? Aboruganda Kyagulanyi yebazibwe nga ne Rwongoya tetumwerabidde. Okay. Uganda basooka kukwata ne banoonya omusango ogw'okuteekako wala uniform eyo wiri lucha mugimalamu ekitiibwa. So there is no case yet. What kind of system is this? You first arrest someone and you put crimes on them. Sarah Bireete wa nupu oyo tugenda kumusibako emisango. We just wait. Great job our government of NRM, keep it. Blessing is injury. Then we have 777. Arresting citizens for speaking out against human rights violation is not leadership. It is a repression. Such a primitive tactics are the hallmark of long-serving regimes that have exhausted ideas and now rule through fear rather than accountability. Yes, what do you think about Sarah Bireete's situation? Yes, take a candle in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe if you are new. See you in the next video. Peace.